Hello and welcome to another edition of How to Get Fluent in English Faster. Today I wanted to talk about your language. Not English, your language. There are so many borrowed words in English, and it's a really interesting thing if you can just remember some of your own words from your language and learn a few from other languages that we commonly use in English. There are plenty of root words. These are words that come from French or Latin, other words that become English words, but some words from languages and even whole phrases from other languages become things that we use in English. So in this lesson, I wanted to go over a few different words and phrases from different origins other than America or Australia, Canada, or the UK, and talk about a little bit how they function in English today. Now, one of the things about using these different words is that sometimes the pronunciation gets a little bit fucked up. I don't mean to curse in front of everybody, but that's basically what happens. And this is why the translation of things can get a little bit tricky from one language to another. For example, I'm living in Japan now, and we'll look first at the word karaoke. Now, I'm in Japan, and a lot of you have probably heard the word karaoke before, but if I say karaoke to Japanese people, they have no idea what I'm saying. The correct pronunciation, I can't even say the word pronunciation properly, but the correct pronunciation of the word karaoke in Japanese would be karaoke. And what we're doing is connecting kara, which is open, and oke, which is orchestra. So it's interesting that a Japanese word, karaoke, actually came from English in the first place. So open orchestra came to Japan, became karaoke, and then came back to America, and then became karaoke. The same thing is true for karate. We say karate in English instead of karate in Japanese. And also we have kamikaze in English, which is kamikaze in Japanese. This is for someone that is sacrificing themselves for somebody else by killing themselves for the greater good of somebody else. So now we'll move into a different language. All right, let's talk about the word guru. You'll hear this a lot no matter what you're doing, even on YouTube. YouTube has a whole list of gurus. If you're a guru, you're an expert at something. So you can say, I am an expert at something, but it's kind of cool to say you're a guru. Now, obviously, the pronunciation is probably a little bit different than somebody in India would actually be using. I've heard guru. Maybe I'm pronouncing that improperly. I don't know. But it's a very common word used in English. Guru. Guru. I am an English guru. Next up, Arabic. There are so many words that come from Arabic, so many ideas that come from Arabic also. Algebra comes from Arabic. I feel bad for all the kids in high school that have to learn that, but yes, it's a very good thing if you can learn it. But yes, this is coming from the whole Arabian Peninsula, that whole tradition of mathematics, and also the word zero has its origin in Arabic as well. But another word that also comes from the Arabian tradition and has its roots in Arabic language is sofa. I'm sitting on a sofa right now. You can say couch, but people regularly say sofa in English, and you can thank people in Arabic-speaking countries for that. Next up, Chinese. There are a lot of words in Chinese. You've probably heard tofu in English. If you haven't heard it before, it's also in Japan, and the pronunciation changes a little bit depending on where you go. But the word I want you to remember today is gung-ho. Now, this has probably no meaning at all in Chinese anymore, but to be gung-ho means to be really excited, really passionate, and really ready to work on something. So if you are working with your team and you're excited, you're about to play a game, or you have a company and you are all getting together to complete a project, then you are gung-ho. There's actually a name of a movie about Michael Keaton, who played the original Batman, and he is in a car company that actually gets taken over by a Japanese company, but it's called Gung Ho. Check it out. Next, this word is of an African origin, and it is called mumbo jumbo. Now, you will hear mumbo jumbo a lot when people can't explain something properly. It's not mumbling. To mumble is like this. That's mumbling. But mumbo jumbo is kind of difficult words that you can't really understand, like a difficult explanation. I'm going into all these kind of crazy things right now, and I'm speaking about something, and I like really long scientific explanations, and you can't hear what I'm saying, and I'm speaking really quickly. That's mumbo jumbo. So we just say anything that's mumbo jumbo or you don't understand it. You can also say, that's Greek to me. That's Greek to me. It just means you don't understand it. Next, Spanish. Español. I used to study Spanish a little bit, but I forgot most of it. I really look forward to studying it again when I have more time. But right now, I'm just happy using some of the Spanish that I can use in my day-to-day regular English life. And we'll go over 3 words and 1 expression. Actually, 1 from the 3 is an expression that we'll go over today. The first one is siesta. It can get pretty hot in Mexico, and you'll notice that a lot of people in the middle of the day, they take time, they relax, have something to drink, and they take a nap. A siesta is a midday nap. We do the same thing in America. I will take one right now. Oh, I need a longer siesta to teach English, but it's entertaining. The second one, it's an expression that we use regularly, and it's mi casa es su casa. Mi casa es su casa. It just means my house is your house. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm not saying it properly, but this is basically how we say it in English. Mi casa es su casa. My house is your house. Or mi casa su casa. Or mi casa tu casa. I've heard. But I'm not a Spanish speaker, so I don't know. But this is how we say it in English. The last Spanish word we use, again, there are plenty of them because, especially in the America and Mexico example, we are right next to each other. A lot of the culture connects, it goes back and forth, and a lot of words come up into American culture. So the last word we use regularly to say goodbye in English is adios. Adios. It's just saying goodbye. And we will use that in a regular conversation. Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. Hasta luego. See you later. I don't know why we do that, but it's just a common kind of casual thing we do, and I enjoy speaking in a little bit of Spanish and having fun with my accent. Los Estados Unidos de México, the United States of Mexico. Anyway, hopefully I can continue to improve my Spanish in the future. Next, French. We've got French bread, French fries, lots of French words in America, and not just the words that have French like French mustard. But we've got lots of great words, and one phrase you'll hear a lot is a certain je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. This just means a certain kind of indescribable quality that someone has. Maybe there's like a really good-looking girl, but you don't know why she's so beautiful. Maybe she's just the kind of girl next door, or there's something about like an idea or a project or something. You don't know exactly why it's really good, but you say it has a certain je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. Next up, German. German, we have quite a few words. Again, hamburger is coming from German as well. And even living in Japan, we have both the Hamburger and the Hamburger, which is both the actual hamburger and the Hamburg steak that you can get here in Japan. But 2 words from German that you'll hear used commonly in English. The first one is blitz. This is a word from football as well. It means to move very quickly and to do something fast. So if the grocery store is closing, you need to blitz over to the grocery store and get your food before it closes. The second German word that we regularly use is Wanderlust. Wanderlust. And this just means that you really have a strong desire to get out and travel, and you really just want to explore different places. You have wanderlust. I really like the sound of that word. To wander means to just kind of go around aimlessly without having a particular goal. So lust means you really want to do something. Last up for today is Dutch. You probably didn't know these two words, and among many others are also from Dutch origin as well. The first one is booze. You'll hear lots of different words for expressing alcohol in different ways, and booze is one of them. And this is for kind of lower quality when people talk about, oh, I need to drink some booze. This is hard liquor. So something like maybe you've got some whiskey or some rum or vodka, some hard liquor, spirits like that. You can talk about beer as booze because it just means alcohol generally, but we don't usually talk about booze for wine or kind of high class things like that. The second word from Dutch is decoy. A decoy is having maybe I have a kind of fake Drew right here while I'm off playing baseball or I'm playing the guitar in a different room. So this is not the real Drew. This is a decoy. So a decoy is where you put something right here and then bam, you get somebody over here like that. So you have a distracting thing over here. This is a decoy. So you focus on this and then I get you over here like that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. Remember that you can use your own words in English if you want to get fluent faster, and you don't have to worry so much about the pronunciation of them because we mess up the pronunciation of these words all the time. It's a whole collection of words all over the planet that come together and they come back and forth and they go from one culture to another. But relax, enjoy, try using a few of your words, and maybe you can even push more of your words into the English language. Well, that's enough for me today, so I have to say adios, auf Wiedersehen, or whatever it is in German. I don't really know German at all, but sayonara. To learn more about our monthly Master English Conversation audio and video lessons, and to get fluent in English faster with our free newsletter and email video course for students, visit us at EnglishAnyone.com.